You get Paula. You don't get a poor guy who has to stand in front of a 7-Eleven hoping that someone takes him in a truck for a day labor job. That's not fair to him either. That flag means something, folks. Citizenship means something. It means you're part of a collective of greater values. But those values have to be earned. It cheapens it when you give it away. And we should not be doing that. So the answer is no. Yes, sir.
Just to follow up on that, how do you deal with the millions of workers here who are already here without documents?
Well, you know, folks, the same question goes for the crack cocaine problem. You know, listen, now, just because we're having a hard time in the drug war in certain respects doesn't mean we abandon all fronts. If you come here illegally, folks, there has to be a penalty, or else there's no purpose to the law. I mean, if you wrote a law that said, you know what, it's only a law at your own discretion, it's really not a law. It's like if I asked you about your mortgage, you said, listen, it's optional. After a few months, I mean, you may be the most benevolent person on earth, but sooner or later you're going to stop paying the bills, right? A law has to have teeth. Now, I am the only candidate in the race, and maybe the only candidate, if we get elected, in the House of Representatives, actually deported someone. Folks, it's a long process. It's a laborious process. It doesn't work. It's broken. If you don't think it is broken, talk to any INS agent, get them off the record, and they'll tell you what a farce the system is now. The legal system is broken. It's not weighted at all towards the needs of the United States. We have real needs, folks. It is not weighted at all to do that. The 12 million people here, we handle the same way we always have. You come here and you break the rules, folks, you're going to have to be subject to penalties. But are we going to, I mean, is it possible physically right now to find 12 million people? No, it's just not. There's just not enough money to do that. But that doesn't mean we abandon the law. That's just not going to work either. Yes, sir.
Hi, Dan. Steve Berryman. Could you say a couple of words about a possible constitutional litmus test for proposed legislation?
Meaning you have to put a rider in it saying what section of the Constitution? Yeah, I would, but what I'm afraid of with that is the general welfare clause has been expanded to such an extent where my fear, because I've heard this before about a constitutional litmus test, is, again, it would be toothless. It would be like Nancy Pelosi when she had said that time, the Constitution, said, are you kidding me? They view the Constitution as a suggestion. You know, I put out a tweet the other day saying that. It was retweeted quite a bit. So the Constitution is not a suggestion. It's not a bad idea. I actually would support it. But I want to be sure, because you know how liberals are, if they get an idea, they're going to grow it and grow it. Everything would be it's general welfare. That's what they're doing now. You're seeing that now when you look at Obamacare, which is odd because there's no general and there's no positive welfare in it either. So I would support it if it had teeth, but I don't think it would, unfortunately.
One last question.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Particularly with your Ginger Bigelow, sorry.
I know who you are.
I know who you are. Particularly with your background in security, how are you thinking about the NSA debacle right now?
Yeah, the NSA scandal, folks, is very troubling. I haven't been a federal agent. I can tell you, if you give the government information for free and you forfeit your own civil liberties, I promise you it will be abused. Now, if you think this is a knock on government agents, you're wrong. It's not. I was one. Folks, the incentives are all wrong. The incentives for government agents to go and arrest terrorists, arrest criminals, organized crime figures, in our case, counterfeiters, computer crimes when I was in the Secret Service, the incentives, how you're rated, is by your ability to investigate and arrest people. If you're going to give me the information for free without any judicial review, why would I turn it down? I'm not looking as a federal agent to violate your civil liberties. You gave it to me. Folks, there is a public and a private self. You know, I bring that up because you've seen this red herring out there quite a bit, where they say, well, with the NSA scandal, if you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to worry about. Really, who in this room is not doing anything wrong? Right? Why do you I mean, think about it. If your life was really an open book, why do we shut our doors, pull the curtains, the shutters, lock the doors? Why do we put passwords on our computer? The point is, folks, you know, I'm a man of faith. There is a perfect being. It's not me. I've made a ton of mistakes and will continue to. But my personal mistakes, as long as I don't take your civil liberties or commit a crime or violate a law, are none of your business. They're not.
Right on.
Yes.
That line is true. I can't see how anyone, small government conservative, Occupy Wall Street, libertarian, anyone along the spectrum supports this. This is ineptitude and bureaucratic laziness at its worst. That line in the sand, where private ginger ends and public ginger begins, is drawn by you. It's not in totalitarian regimes. In North Korea, where your neighbor's spying on you and you don't know it. You don't know where that line is. What makes this country great is you draw the line. The government doesn't have the key to that door. Once we cross this threshold, folks, there's no going back. Because then the answer becomes, well, why shouldn't we all eat broccoli? If you have a good diet, it benefits everyone. The point here is you're free to drink milkshakes. It may not be great for you, but you're free to make poor decisions, folks. It's a very troubling stance. Thanks a lot, folks. I appreciate it. Thank you.